Okay, so now it's time to take this headband off. It's been on my head for maybe 35, 40 minutes. I'm gonna take this off, and then we're gonna cut the lace. Whew. Okay, so it looks like it's on here. I took the headband off, cut the lace off, melted it as best as I could using some makeup. Y'all know how these wigs, they're not necessarily made for the black woman, even though we are the consumer. I'm going to polish up my hair a little bit more by adding a wax stick, and then I'm going to add the hot comb to it as well. So we're going to like flatten it out, and then once I do that, we're going to come back with the second portion of this video, which is the makeup look. Okay, you all, so this is the finished look. I went on ahead and added some wax to my hair. I also, what do you call it, pressed it with the straightening comb, and that is it. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the hair. I think it looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. Let me turn around so you guys can see. This is it. I tried to melt it as much as I could, but you guys know I'm in front of the light. Okay, you all, so I am back with part 2 of the 3-in-1 Get Ready With Me. So this is going to be the makeup portion of the video. I already did my hair. You guys should have seen it already. And I did my brows off camera just to save us some time. But let's go ahead and jump into this glam. Okay guys, I'm excited. I'm kind of excited. I'm going to do my base first. I typically do my eyes first. But since my eyes are going to be super simple, we're just going to jump straight into the base. So for my primer, I'm going in with the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I'm going to be using this to prime my skin, and this is going to help the makeup just last and stay on all day, which I do want. Plan on taking some pictures, doing a little video. So I do want my makeup to last and look super cute. I did do my skincare already off camera. I made sure I put my eye cream on. I noticed that when I put my eye cream on, my under eyes are not as dry when I do my makeup. My eyes should be a lot more hydrated when it's time for me to, you know, do my setting powder. I think where a lot of people go wrong when it comes to primers are they don't allow the primers to dry down. They just put the primer on and go straight away with the foundation, but you want to allow your primer to work and really penetrate the skin. So just make sure you rub your primers all the way into your skin. Once you finish rubbing them in, wait maybe 30 seconds to 1 minute to let the primer, you know, do its thing, and then put on the foundation. Okay, you guys, I'm loving the hair. Like, I'm loving this hair. I like a bob. I don't know if it's my age or what, but I'm really into the bob. I've been loving. I'm going to use my Glow Screen sunscreen just because I want a little bit of a glow. And I'm super excited about my birthday. When I thought about it, I was like, okay, I'm turning 40, so what is that? Like, what does that mean? What does that like represent, right? And I thought about it, and 40 is a number I want to say it also represents the number of completion. It's like the coming out, because as you all know, Moses was on Mount Sinai fasting for 40 days and 40 nights in the presence of God. And when Jesus was filled with the Holy Spirit took him into the wilderness, and he was in the wilderness for 40 days fasting. And once the 40 days were over, he entered into his work, his ministry, and what he needed to do. The Israelites were in the wilderness for 40 years, okay? And once those 40 years were up, they went into their promised land. They finally went into the land that the Lord had prepared for them, which was the land of milk and honey, the promised land. The number 40 to me represents a finish, like a coming out. Before 40, it was like the time of getting to know God, your time of wilderness, your time of testing and trials and tribulations. And then once that 40 years or 40 days is up, you know, you come out and you come into either your ministry, you come into the things that God has for you. So that's the way I'm looking at it right now in this time of my life, because I feel like your new year literally starts with your birthday, because I do want my face to be beat. So I'm going to go in with the House Labs foundation. This one is in the shade 500 Deep Neutral. I just want to make sure that this is like my best year. I want to believe that my best days are ahead of me, my best years are ahead of me. Like, I want to believe that. I'm going into it positive, with a positive mindset, and I can't believe I'm 40. Like, it's hard to believe. So we're going to go ahead and blend this in. I'm going to buff this makeup. Like, my skin looks so good. Did I add too much foundation? Because it's kind of giving that. I am excited. For my birthday, I'm going to take some pictures. And it's going to be real cute. By the grace of God. Hopefully, it'll be real cute. So I'm going to really beat my face in this video. But once you, like, you know, start getting older and up in age, it's so good to just begin to take care of yourself. Like, your health is your wealth. To live a long life and to prosper is better than many riches, because you're living. A lot of people who are not ready, and I really feel like it's the people who aren't ready, the people who are not there, they look at people who are into fitness and really, you know, just want to get themselves together as, oh, that person is doing too much. But it's just like, when you realize that you could actually look better, when you realize that you could actually feel better, that you don't have to grow up and grow old, feel miserable, or even look miserable. When you really can live your best life, you really can look better than you ever did. When you start being intentional about your health, you will feel just so much better. You will have mental clarity. You know, it just gives you a sense of like hope and like life. You know, when you're doing the right thing, that you're going to have a long life. But that's just how I feel right now in my 40s. I literally just turned 40. I don't know how you're supposed to feel at 40. I don't feel 40. I don't feel like I look 40. I feel like when I wake up in the morning, I look 40. This is why I always preach to you guys, like, take care of yourself, do your skincare, like, look good, glow. Do the bare minimum, but just make sure you're doing it all the time. Keep up with it. Let it become like a part of your lifestyle, you know? Every time I put concealer on, it always look a little crazy. And there are some things that I do want to talk about in this video that I've learned before turning 40. The first one is knowing that your health is your wealth. Part of that health is your mental clarity, your mental stability. That's something that I had to really learn and really be able to utilize in my life. And that is to, like, right now, my motto is, and this really helps me to not stress about things or to be anxious. And one of them is, I'll cross that bridge when we get there. I feel like people put a lot on you. You can put a lot on yourself. And to try and think of what am I going to do when the time comes, or, you know, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do this, how am I going to do that. I feel like that put a lot of stress on a person. And so I've learned this before I turn 40 is, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. I'm not going to let nobody stress me out. I'm not going to overthink and stress out myself. You know, because the Bible says, you know, be anxious for nothing. Dealing with things when they come up, you know, and not dealing with it before it even comes. The Bible says It says, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow has its own troubles. So I don't want to worry about what's going to happen tomorrow. We're going to let tomorrow happen in whichever way it's supposed to happen. So it can come off to some people, oh my goodness, you don't care. And it's not about caring. And even if you do have a plan, it's just the fact that we're going to deal with it when we get there. Because tomorrow does have its own troubles. Why would I have the weight of tomorrow and the weight of today on me when I can just worry about my right now? And that's how I look at it. Now, that's how I look at it. I didn't used to look at it like that, but I look at it like that now. I just used the Thread Beauty Face It Complexion Stick in the shade, I think it's 220. This is the Thread Beauty Face It Complexion Stick in the shade Deepest Warm Red. Another lesson I've learned in my 30s is, and it took me a long time to learn this, is staying calm. Not letting, this is a part of what I just said, but staying calm. Not letting, again, anxieties and the stresses of life steal or pull at your peace and your joy. So staying calm is very, very, very important. In order to have peace, you have to stay calm. And so sometimes you're staying calm, like my staying calm could look like, are you listening? Like, are you there? That's because that's how my staying calm look. My staying calm look like, are you listening? It's like I'm listening, but I'm trying to stay as calm as I possibly can, so I can be able to maintain and keep my peace. I feel like when you're anxious, you can respond in a way in which may not be appropriate, or just, you know what I mean? So like one of the things that I do is I just stay calm. I try to be as calm as I possibly can. And another way for me to stay calm is to stay out of things, right? So I try my best to like stay out of something. If I feel like something is going to pull at my peace, so not only do I stay calm, but I try to stay out of situations. This is why it's also so important not to listen to everything. You can't be an ear to everybody, okay? Because sometimes that can affect you. So if it's not important, you don't have to listen to it. You have to have a discerning spirit. That's one thing that the enemy will try to do, is pull on you, cause you to be anxious, cause you to be agitated, frustrated, or put you in a state of confusion. But when you are at peace, when you're calm, it's easier, right? It's easier to think. It's easier to give a proper answer. So I'm going to let the concealer sit on my face and become as tacky as possible. So I'm going to be using the Juvia's Place blush, girl, same old, same old. Hopefully I'm not too, I want to be like big on camera. Another thing that I've learned in my 30s is knowing your worth. You have to know who you are as a person. When you know who you are, then you will know your worth. I mean, we all make mistakes, right? We all sin and fall short. But when you pick yourself back up, you have to know your worth. That is the most important thing, is just having standards, having morals for yourself, you know, having values, you know, being a person who has values, who have standards. I feel like when you don't have standards, you don't have values, you don't have morals, then you can easily fall. Like, it's like you don't have a foundation. Standards, morals, and values are a foundation for me. It is the basis of who I am. You have to know your worth as a person. Otherwise, you will accept anything, you will do anything, and you will say anything. What I mean by that is, you know, standing on who you are, no matter the situation, no matter the cause, no matter who the person is, where they come from. Having those standards, you know, is going to stop a lot of things. Having a standard is something that you put up, right? And anytime somebody crosses that, that's when you're like, oh no, this goes against who I am. I'm not going to be able to do it. When you recognize and realize that, you know, somebody is going against what it is that you believe in, or going against that standard that you've made for yourself, then that's something that you have to cut off. You can only create boundaries when you know your worth. You can't create boundaries if you do not know your worth. You have to know what it is that you're trying to protect. Boundaries are put in place to protect something, right? It's going to be hard for you to set boundaries because you don't know who you are yet. It's going to be hard to set boundaries because you don't know your worth. So you have to know your worth. You have to know who you are. When I say know your worth, that's also like me saying you put a price on yourself, right? So not just anybody can or say anything to you, right? They will have to come up to that standard that you set for yourself. And so if they don't meet that, then you know, it's a backtrack for them, right? It's like a backtrack for them. So that's something that I have learned for myself, just being a woman of value, and being a woman who has set standards for herself, which causes me to have boundaries. So just having standards, you know, when you create standards for yourself, or when you have standards, everybody does not have access to you, okay? You limit the access that people have to you, okay? A person who doesn't have standards, a person who doesn't have any boundaries, or don't know their value, they are open to any and everything, open to any and everybody, right? But when you are a woman who has standards, when you're a woman who have boundaries, you operate, you move in a way. Say for instance, let's put it in layman terms like makeup, okay? So say for instance, you are a Sephora product, right? And we all know that Sephora is a little bit more expensive than Ulta Beauty or the beauty supply store. So if you're a Sephora product, your worth, your value is going to be higher than that of a beauty supply store or a drugstore product. Two people could be walking your way. So one person is going to be able to afford that Sephora product. Another person is going to be able to afford that beauty supply store product. So when a person sees that you are a Sephora product, you're not in their bracket, or if you're not in their bracket, or if you're not in a place where they can afford you, they're going to look and they're going to walk away, right? But the person who can afford you, they're going to look, they're going to pick you up. A person who can't afford you, right, they're going to go in there with the intentions of getting a product that is more valuable. When you are a person who's sitting top shelf in Sephora, a person who doesn't have the intentions to come into Sephora to get you, they're going to walk past you. They're going to go somewhere else, right? Because they're going to consider whether, can I afford this product? You know, this looks really good. You as a person, you have to really put yourself at that standard, so that not everybody will reach for you. Not everybody will just touch you just because they feel like they can. You know, you understand what I'm saying? But when you are something that's like more affordable, something that is of like a less value, which people deem as low quality, any and everybody's going to pick it up, touch it. They're not going to value it. They're going to just leave it scattered, right? But in Sephora, they're going to pick the product up. They're going to look at it. They're going to view it as nice. They're going to consider it, right? They're going to consider, okay, is this something that I can be able to maintain, you know, longevity? Maybe come back and pick it up, come back and get it again. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean when I say that you have to be a person who has standards. And that's what I have learned, okay? So no longer am I in a place where I'm like, okay, nobody talks to me, and oh my God, like woe is me. Because I used to be like that. I used to be that girl where I'm like, okay, God, nobody talks to me. But I had to realize that, you know, the Lord was covering me, okay? The Lord will cover you, right? He will cover you for such a time when the time is right and ready. So you'll be like a person who's put up high. It really takes a person who know what they want in life, and they deem you as, wow, this is so valuable. You know, I actually do want this. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to look at yourself as a kept woman. Look at yourself as like a put up woman. Not everybody has access to you. You're not easily attainable. And that comes with maturity, because you're not going to automatically think that about yourself when you are walking with God and you're like, nobody talks to me, nobody looks at me. You know, be grateful that not everybody has that. Not everybody is available to you. Not everyone has easy access to you. That's something that you have to be grateful for. And I used to always give this example, and I'm going to be off the topic. I always used to give this example to the girls I work with, and I would let them know that if you're in the club, the bar, the lounge, wherever you are, and a man walks up to you and he just immediately puts his hand around your waist, or he just starts talking to you sideways. Sometimes men do that, even if you are a person of value, because some men are just weird. But most oftentimes, you might be the girl who's sitting by herself. You may look amazing, beautiful, not even the type of girl that gives too many people the time of day. But sometimes people can see that on you, right? And so they'll steer away. They'll keep away from you because they can see that, I have to consider her. You know what I mean? She doesn't look like the type that, you know, plays and things like that. When you're in that kind of setting and you see men kind of gravitating towards women, they're just flocking to this woman, consider what they're thinking about that woman. You have standards. You are being put up. You're the person that someone has to consider. You're the person that someone has to be like, this woman has standards. Like, I can tell she knows her worth. Like, she knows who she is. And this is one of the main reasons why you feel like they're not talking to you, right? Because you are that kind of a person. People have to consider talking to you before they really do it. Okay, you're going to have people who are going to be bold enough to talk to you. They're going to be bold enough to do it, but you still have to keep your standards, even if somebody gives you the time of day. Consider your standards, okay? Know your worth. Even if somebody considers you, it doesn't mean that because they considered me, I have to talk to them or I have to, give them my full undivided attention. Because mind you, you want to always be in the vetting process, whether that be with men, women as friends, work, whatever the case may be. Don't let flattery fool you. Stay in the posture of having standards, being a person of integrity, you know what I mean, and creating boundaries. And this goes full circle. That's one. Another thing I've learned in my 30s is you don't need validation, okay? Now, I understand that sometimes you feel like you need validation to continue on in life and to feel as if, you're doing the right thing or you're on the right track. But if you know that you've done all the things and, you not crossed every T and dot every I, but if you know that you're a person who puts in the work, if you're a gifted or talented person, most people can see that, right? And a lot of people are not going to validate that, or they're not going to praise that, because some people wish that they were multifaceted like you. Okay, so some people can see that and they think or believe that you want validation or you want, the praise of other people, because they feel like everything that you do, you're doing it well on purpose to get the validation of other people, when really that's just how you work. Okay, so when people see that, they are not going to always congratulate, honor, or validate you. This is where you have to give your own self the validation. Okay, this is where you have to really give your own self the validation. This is where you really have to pat your own self on the back. And there will be seasons when people will congratulate you, when people will honor you, and there will be seasons where people will, validate you and give you that go forth, go ahead, you can make it, you can do it. And then you're going to have those seasons where you're going to have to tell yourself that. Okay, so learning that in my 30s was super important, because sometimes I'll be like, oh, why people not doing this, why people not doing that, they don't look at me, all the stuff. Y'all know what that is, right? And I had to really realize, to myself, like, Rayshawn, you know you that girl. You know you that girl. You know you talented. You know that as well as other people. But you're going to have to believe it for yourself, and you're going to have to tell yourself that and speak life into yourself when it comes to your worth, how you do things, and the way in which you do things. You're going to have to pat your own self on the back. You're going to have to speak over your own self. There will be seasons where no one will validate you, when no one will confirm you, and you're going to have to confirm yourself. And this is something I have learned throughout my entire year. Using the Huda Beauty. This is the Huda Beauty Baby Bake powder in the shade Kunafa. Spraying my face is going to really help my powder not dry my under eyes out, I believe. I don't want too much spray messing up my lace. And just pat this underneath my eyes. Hopefully it doesn't dry my under eyes out. I haven't used this in a while because I've been feeling like this been drying my under eyes out. My under eyes are puffy, and I feel like this really accentuates the puffiness underneath my eyes. So I just kind of stopped using it. I don't know if this formula, I don't know what happened, girl. But anyway, my eyes are more hydrated because I did spray my face. I put my eye cream on. So I have high hopes for this under eye. I'm going to brighten up this under eye just a little bit more further in the video. But for right now, this is what we are looking like. And it looks really, really good. I'm going to use that same powder to set the center of my face. If you guys hear the sound, I have the air on. And so when it's humid, my house has to be clean and the air has to be on. I'm going to take the Sephora Micro Smooth powder in the shade 65 Toffee. We're going to use this to set the perimeters of the face. So back to what I was saying, as far as you being in a place in a season, and sometimes that season can look like your entire 20s. That season can look like your entire 30s. This is something that you have to learn in life. You have to learn to pat your own self on the back. You have to learn to encourage yourself. Me, I encourage myself in the Lord, okay? Because without the confidence that I have in God, I really won't be able to make it in life, to be completely honest. Like, I can try to maybe have my own self-confidence, but that's just like pride and ego. But it's not about really pride and ego. It's just, having that confidence whereby you can say, okay, I got this. Like, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So you really have to speak into your own self, know your worth. I'm a good person. Like, I got this. Like, that looks good. I did a good job. You have to do that to yourself. Another thing you need to learn, which I've learned earlier in life, is flattery is not currency. People will flatter you with their words. They'll be like, oh, you sold this, you sold that, blah, 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 and it gets you nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It just gets you nowhere. People love to flatter you so that you can, work harder for them, or they love to flatter you so that, they can flatter you to fool you. They can flatter you to have you to believe that this is going to happen, that is going to happen, but nothing comes of it, right? Flattery is not currency, and I always say that. It gets you nowhere, and it does nothing for you, right? It just makes you, to the person who likes flattery, it just makes you feel good. So I've been a person who I don't take flattery lightly, easily, or whatever. I don't know. What's the word? I'm going to be using the bronzer from Morphe. This is the Morphe Glamour Bronzer. All right. So I'm going to bronze up these cheeky cheeks. So that's one of the things I've learned is just, to encourage yourself. Encourage yourself, speak over yourself, because a lot of people are not going to do it. You're not going to get it from everybody. Even if you're looking for it, you're not going to get it, It's just not. That's a part of knowing who you are. Whether you're in a room and people are speaking over other people, but no one is speaking over you. You have to still stand firm in who you are, knowing who you are, whether you get the compliment or whatever, the accolades or not. You have to know who you are. Now, I realize when you walk like that, it don't matter if you compliment me or not. It doesn't matter if you, validate me or not. I know who I am. When you actually walk like that, people are going to be a lot more intimidated by you. Yeah. They're going to be a lot more intimidated. They're going to be like, wow, so this girl don't even get like all of this, that, and the third, and she's still like so confident, and she's still moving and grooving. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to use the Juvia's Place Blush Duo in Volume 5 to blush at my cheeks. Okay, now another thing I've learned in my 30s, and this is more so towards the end of my 30s, is to be unapologetic, okay? Live your life unapologetic, not apologizing about everything. You know what I mean? Like, making excuses or having reasons as to why this and that and the other. Being unapologetic means that I'm not apologizing about the choices that I've made in life. I'm not going to be apologizing as to why I said some of the things that I said, especially when they're coming from a place of love or a place of boundaries, right? So being unapologetic about the choices that you make and decisions about the choices that you make, being unapologetic about who it is that you are. You have to stand on that, because a lot of people would love to knock you down. They would love to knock down your confidence. They would love to knock down that joy just a notch. They would love to knock down that sense of self just a notch. They would love to do that. So this is something that you have to learn to stand on, right? You have to be unapologetic. Only person I'm apologizing to, or people I'm apologizing to, is somebody I know I've offended purposefully or to God. Other than that, you have to live unapologetic. You gotta, when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, when you're doing things that lead to your destiny in life, that lead to your purpose and where you are going in life, you do not have to apologize about that. And some people want you to apologize because you're moving in a way that is like, who told her to do that? Why is she doing that? Nobody gave her permission to do that. That's the thing. You don't need permission. As a grown woman, you don't need no permission from nobody. When the Lord has set you on the path to do something, you do not need permission from nobody. You don't need nobody's go ahead. If the people they already haven't given you the validation or confirmed you. But yet when you begin to do something, it's, where did you get the permission from? That's the whole purpose of people not validating you, people not confirming you, is because they don't want you to move forward. They don't want you to walk into those things that the Lord has for you. They want you to kind of stay stagnant and stay in place. But this is why I say, know who you are and be unapologetic about it, so that you can be able to walk into your purpose. You understand what I'm saying? Without anybody having to say, go. This is the green light. You already have the green light. This is why I always say things like, Lord, you lead me in the path of righteousness for your name's sake, right? So long as I know I'm walking in the path of righteousness, meaning that I'm walking in a place whereby it's taking me to the purpose that God has for me. It's taking me to the destination that the Lord has, intended for me. I don't have to apologize about that, because everything I'm doing now is more intentional. I spoke about that in my other video. But yeah, you have to stand firm and strong and be confident in who it is that you are without anybody having to validate you or tell you that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay? If people could surpass you, they would. You know what I mean? And sometimes let them, because understanding that when it's time for me to rest in the Lord, I'm going to take that. You know what I mean? I'm going to do that. And when you do that, people feel like, oh, she haven't done this in a while. I haven't seen her in a while. Blah, 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 whatever. Okay, that's fine. I could be resting in the Lord. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with resting. That is, I heard that is a form of worship. What is this? Way too much. This is my powder from my brand Ore Beauty, which is not been sold right now, but this is in the shade Banana, and I'm using this to brighten up underneath my eyes just a little bit more. So we're going to just kind of lightly set this up here, and we're going to use this for, like, I guess a slight baking, if you will. I'm going to try to sharpen those edges. I've seen people do that. Okay, another thing I've learned in my 30s is to do things for yourself, right? To not purposely do things in the eyesight of other people. Like, you're purposely doing it so that people can see you. Purposefully. You have to not do things for the glory and the praise of other people. You have to learn to start doing things for yourself and not do it because somebody is watching you. You have to be able to do things whether someone is watching you or not. When you begin to do that, no longer are you concerned about what other people think, because you're doing things for yourself. You're not doing things purposefully so that people can see that you've done this or you've done that. The Bible says, be careful to do your good deeds in front of other people, because then you already have your reward. Your reward is the praise and the glory that you want from other people. And when they give it to you, that's your reward. But when you do things sometimes in secret, you're doing your normal job, your normal work, and you're not waiting until somebody comes in your presence or waiting until somebody comes in your vicinity before you start doing things. You've already planned to do these already. That's when your reward really comes in, because you're like, you know what, I'm not even doing this for them. I'm doing this for me. That's what God will really give you, or really, reward you. God who sees and knows things in secret, he'll reward you openly before people. And when he rewards you openly, people are going to look at you and be like, how did she get this? How did she get that? I didn't see her doing that. I didn't even see that. I didn't know she was even doing that, right? Because you're not doing your works for other people. You're not doing your works for the praise of men, but you're doing things for God. You're doing your work unto the Lord, but you're also doing things for yourself. This is not so that people can see that I'm a good person, or not so that people can see that I work hard, or so that people can see and hear that this is what I'm doing. You have to start doing things for yourself. When you don't get what you was expecting from other people, when you did things in their presence purposefully, right? You're gonna feel defeated. You're gonna be like, why do I even do this? You're gonna feel like it was a waste of time. Right? Because you did it for them anyway. You have to do it for yourself. That's like, I'm gonna use an example. That's like going to the gym, right? But you go to the gym for all the wrong reasons. You go to the gym because you want people to see you. You go to the gym because you want to, say for instance, meet a man. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. You want to meet a man. You want people to see your body. You go to the gym because you just want to be seen. But then when you're in a gym and you feel like, don't nobody see me, don't anybody recognizing me, I'm doing all this for nothing, right? You're going to start thinking that. You're going to stop going to the gym because you went with the intentions of getting the attention of other people instead of going for whatever purpose and reason that you were going for, okay? So when you take your mind off other people, you can be able to fulfill your purpose. You can be able to complete the task. A lot of people do things for other people, and this is why people don't finish things. For my lips, I'm using my MAC lip liner in the shade Chestnut. So keep that in mind, ladies, when I need to shave my lips. My Lord. So keep that in mind. You know, when you start doing stuff, that you begin to do it for yourself. Don't start doing stuff for other people. You know what I'm saying? You'll find a lot more fulfillment in whatever it is that you're doing when you realize that I'm doing this for me. It takes a joy and a fun out what you're doing when you are doing it for the praise and glory of other people, wanting them to see you. Because if you're doing it for you, if they see you or not, I still found fulfillment in it because I was doing it for me anyway. Believe it or not, as talented as you are, not everybody wants you. Some people may see you as a threat, right? So not everybody is going to hire you. Not everyone is going to view you as someone who can actually help them. So this is where you have to create a lane for yourself. And I just believe, for me, that God has called me to be a forerunner. And believe me, I worked in 9 to 5, 7 years straight. And I was going to continue in it until I had a dream. And I'm not going to say too much about it, but I had a dream. Not only did I have a dream, but my sister had a dream as well about my job. She had a dream about my job multiple times and didn't tell me until after I stopped working there. But sometimes what the Lord has for you, He wants you to get it. And sometimes that may look like Him taking some things from you. It may look like that. And you're probably thinking like, but why would He do that? Like, that was my means of this, that, and the other, So sometimes it's going to look like when the Lord has something better for you, He'll take something from you so that you can get that better. But while He's doing that, you're learning in the process. Okay? Hold up. So for my eyes, I'm going to take this e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. This one is in the shade Beach Please. I'm going to take the bronzer and I'm going to place this on my eyelid. I'm going to keep it more so on the lid though. And the last thing I'll say that I've learned in my 30s is just being confident. I can't get away from it because confidence is what's going to get you out of tough situations. Being confident is what's going to get you out of tough situations, okay? Confidence is having faith, it's believing in yourself, it's having faith in God, and of course it just means to have faith. It means to be hopeful. So when you have confidence, when you find yourself in situations that are, maybe not so great, your confidence will cause you to believe that the situation can get better. Your confidence will cause you to be able to rise above the negativity. Your confidence will cause you to be able to rise above, the things that may come to try to steal that away from you, right? Because you're a confident. I didn't use bronzer, did I? No, I did not. Because I did. I used the Morphe Lemon Bronze Bronzer because you're confident. I'm going to take the Morphe Bronze Duo in the shade Deep Dark, and I'm going to use this for my eyes. I'm going to be using this on the lid. So I'm going to put this right on top of that cream bronzer. I'm going to mattify it and just make sure it is completely dry down so that it doesn't move nor crease nor break up. That's creasing. On my lid. It's going to give me like a nice bronzy smoky eye, except for it's not going to be too thin. It's going to be a little bit more opaque, which I do want. I want you to be able to see it. Your confidence is going to help you to rise above situations. If it had not been for my confidence in the Lord and Him causing me to be confident, Him causing me to stand up, I would have been lost hope. Okay, I would have been lost hope. I would have been thrown in the towel, all the things. But because I have confidence, I'm able to rise above the situations that I may find myself in. Because I have confidence, I'm able to move forward in life in the things that, I want to do, and the things that God is calling me to do. I'm able to rise above whatever because of my confidence. I'm going to take this bronzing shade here, and I'm going to just keep this right in the crease. I'm going to blend out those edges. So yeah, that's another thing that I've learned. You know, my confidence have greatly increased in my 30s, especially towards like the end of my 30s though. For some odd reason, I feel more confident. And your confidence can cause people to be uneasy, okay? Some people will be uneasy around you. They may think differently about you, but you have to grow up, okay? You have to grow up in life. You can't walk in fear, okay? And I'm not saying like just be out here doing anything just because you're confident about it. No, okay? You don't want to be a stumbling block for other people, even though you may have the freedom and you know that this is okay. Other people may not think that. Not to say that you should put your life on hold for other people, but I'm just saying. You know, my confidence have greatly increased. Thank you, Jesus. You know, and I found myself in situations where I feel like, you know what, Lord, like this isn't working. I don't know, blah, blah. And it's like, because I have confidence and I don't know what it is. I don't know because the Lord has just chosen me to go through this, you know, whatever. I don't know what it is. But I found myself, you know, able to get up another day and do it another day. Even though I don't always feel the most confident. Let's just say that. Sometimes I don't always feel the most confident, you know? But because I still trust, this is where the confidence comes off of me, and this is where the confidence comes in on believing in God, right? When you wake up and find yourself like you're not the most confident person, like I'm not the most confident person today. You know what I mean? I just don't know like what the day holds today. This is when you draw your confidence from the Lord. You have to draw it from Him. Okay, that's why the Bible says, cast not away your confidence. Your confidence is what's going to keep you going in your faith. When you feel like, I'm not feeling it today. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Because each day is different. No day is the same. No day is the same. Your feelings are not the same. So we thank God for Jesus. We thank God for God because He says, I am the Lord and I change not. See, we change, but the Lord doesn't change. So we need Him to stabilize us. We need Him to keep us in check. We need that. I'm going to take this Ruby Kisses Tattoo Felt Tip Liner. This is it. And I'm going to use this to line my eyes. I feel like I've been doing this makeup forever at this point. So those are all the things that I have learned in my 30s. Those are very valuable lessons learned. So, I need to go to the store. Get my cake for this. This is the Ruby Kisses 24-hour eyeliner. I'm going to line my waterline with this. Lashes, girl, I don't even have no more lashes like this. I need to go back to the beauty supply store and get them, because I like looking at them in a pack. I'm like, oh my goodness, these are too dramatic. Like, they're too big. But once you put them on, it's like, oh, they're definitely wearable. Like, spray, yeah. You guys can see my vanity right now. It is a mess. No matter how much I try to keep it clean, girl, it's a mess. But it's all for a good reason, because this face is beat. And then we're going to move on to the third and final part of this Get Ready With Me, which is the outfit. Having a routine, I've learned in my 30s, is so important to, you know, you have to be okay with doing things over and over again, okay? Because that's basically what a routine is to do things over and over again, but you build muscle from doing things over and over again, right? I'm not talking about just living a life of not doing anything. Your life is very mundane and dry, and you just wake up, eat breakfast, go back to sit down on the bed. Not that kind of routine. You have to find something to do, okay? Find some work for your hands to do, so that you can be able to find the joy in life, so that you can be able to find fulfillment in life. You need to have a routine. A routine, like I said, is something that you just do over and over and over again, but you can add to it. You know, as you start, as you begin, you add to it, okay? But having a routine will keep you disciplined. So if somebody was to come, or, you know, say for instance, like today is my birthday, but because I have a routine, I'm not switching up my routine just because it's my birthday. I'm gonna continue to do what I've been doing, because one thing I noticed is that consistency is key, and you have to stay consistent when it comes to your routine. So I still got up, prayed, read my Bible. I did some at-home stretches and exercises. You still want to keep up with your routine, okay? You don't want anybody to stop you, or from doing the things that you have set in place for yourself to do, because this is what is helping to shape you, okay? Having a routine keeps you from being idle. It keeps you out of things that you shouldn't be in, okay? Having a routine makes you to consider other things first before you just jump straight into it. You're kind of analyzing, is this going to be something that's going to benefit me? Because you're so used to your routine benefits you. Your routine is something that, you find the benefits of joy in it. You find the benefits of a sense of calm or whatever in it, right? The sense of fulfillment, if you would say. Not that your full fulfillment is going to come from a routine, because it's okay to switch it up. But what I'm saying is, having a routine will also help you to add other things into that routine, right? You'll begin to pick up other things, pick up other hobbies in that, right? And so you will kind of keep it going in the rotation. It gives you a better mindset. You're not scatterbrained trying to figure out what you're going to do, because you know what you're going to do. You're intentional about it, okay? Unless something important comes up and it's like, okay, we're going to have to, prioritize. So that is the end of the video. I really hope that you all enjoyed this makeup tutorial, girl. It took me every bit of probably an hour to do this because I was talking to y'all. But yeah, this is the makeup look. I hope that you all enjoyed this makeup look. We're going to actually move to the get dressed, like the getting dressed part, because this makeup, girl, came out so good. Let me know what you all think about this makeup look down in the comments. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you've gotten this far in the video, girl, give it a thumbs up. If you have to do something and you can't finish watching the whole video, save to later, okay? Save to watch later so that you can come back to the video. The video will continuously pop up for you, so make sure you do that. So let me go ahead and switch some things around so we can do the get dressed. The final portion of this video. I know it's been long, y'all, but I mean, what I will say is that I'm just so grateful, honestly. Like, hear me out, okay? I'm just grateful to be here, okay? I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be turning 40. And God is good, Oh, Jesus, I'm not going to talk. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump. Let me put something together. Hold on. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into the get ready with me. I'm going to be wearing a black dress. This is the dress. It don't look like much. So because it don't look like much, I'm going to put it on for y'all. It's just a simple black dress, but when you don't have nothing, when you don't have anything to wear, I feel like you need a black dress. You should have at least 3 to 4 black dresses in your closet. You should have a little black dress, a midi black dress, and a long black dress. But you can never go wrong with a black dress. And plus, it makes you look a lot slimmer, okay? So let's go ahead and put the dress on. This one is strappy in the back, but girl, we just turned 40. We're gonna be showing it today. Really, I'm showing my back. See, this is why I was working out, y'all. This is why I worked out as much as I did. And I know some people probably like, she doing too much. Baby, keep thinking that, because I am doing too much. I am. I want to make sure I have a sexy back. But let's go ahead and put this dress on. Oh, Jesus. I hope my camera is jumping, because she just be jumping. She be jumping. I'm just trying to make sure. I did put on a half bra, so I hope you might be able to see it in the back. The bra. This bra is just so annoying. Like, I like it because as long as I've had this bra, to be completely honest with you guys, no bra does me better than a Victoria's Secret bra. No bra, and I honestly mean this, no bra does me better than a Victoria's Secret bra, okay? No bra, okay? There's no bra better than a Victoria's Secret bra, because one thing I will say off topic is that when I purchase any bra that's not Victoria's Secret, if I wash them, they get messed up, the wire comes out, the bra gets loose. I mean, the Victoria's Secret bra, it takes years before the bra starts to get loose and all that. And really, that can also just come from your lack of really, keeping it up properly. But when I tell you that No bra does me better than the Victoria's Secret bra. No bra. The bra, did I do it? Hold up. So, this is how we are looking in the back, guys. This dress is in a medium. This dress is in a medium. It looks so good. This dress looks amazing. What do you guys think? I love it. It looks so good. Just to make sure that it is cute, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I can barely see. Anyway, girl, my nails are not done. I took my nails off. Finally, they were on for like a month and a half, child. But I just don't get my nails done as much as I used to. I love to get them done every like twice a month. But this nail is snagging everything. It's pissing me off in real life. It's pissing me off. I'll go ahead and accessorize really quickly. I'm gonna take these earrings off, and I'm gonna put on the accessories that I got. Let me show you guys. These are some earrings. I have had these for a long time. Like I think I wore maybe once. Anyway, I've had these earrings. I don't even think I've ever worn them, but this is how they look. I'm wearing it because I've chosen them because they're chunky and they'll make great for photos. You know, you always want to use like chunky jewelry for photos. So I figured these would be cute. What do you guys think? This is the earring, which I do like because it's chunky. It will make a statement. My dress is simple, but the back of the dress makes its own statement. So when I turn around, it's like, oh wow, like you look so nice. You understand what I'm saying? So even though it's a simple black dress, and I know that a lot of ladies don't like to wear black because it's just maybe too simple. I would love to wear color, but right now this is what I have. I have another dress, but this one is just cute, and I'm gonna wear this one. I also have this necklace that I wear a lot. I've been meaning to get another one, to be completely honest, but like I haven't been able to go to that beauty supply store that I got this one from. So I just keep wearing this one, but I really want to get another one, just like it, but just, you know, just a new one. So this is the necklace. Not sure if I need it or not. You guys let me know down in the comments. And then this is the bracelet. This is how the bracelet is looking. So this is the necklace with the earrings. What do you guys think? And then this is my bracelet. It's like a little, I'm gonna put it on my left side just because I just am. No, I'm gonna put it on my right hand just because I'm gonna be moving this hand a lot. And so as I move my hand, I want you to see it. So therefore it's gonna go on my right hand. I'm right-handed, so. I used to really grow up thinking that left-handed people like had a problem. Like, cause how are you left-handed? No offense, I'm just saying, I used to grow up like, that was my ignorant way of thinking. Like, if you left-handed, like you couldn't do a lot. That's what I thought. Anywho, let me see how this looks. So this is the purse I'm gonna be wearing. This is the purse I'm gonna be wearing, and these are the shoes. These are some closed-toe slingbacks that I am going to put on. This is the shoe. I've had this shoe for a while. Yeah, so that's that. And I'm going to take some pictures after this because I'm running behind. I feel like it's taking me so long for this video, but I'm going to edit a lot of this talking part out because this is taking too long. I'm going to put on my anklet for some little sexiness up in here. Definitely gonna put this on my right ankle, and I'm gonna take this bracelet off and put it on my left ankle because my left wrist because I just don't feel like, wow. I need to take these pictures expeditiously. I need to take these pictures freakishly, like immediately. Somebody want me to feel real bad, but it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You hear me? I'm gonna take this necklace off. I feel like it's too much. I don't need it. I'm gonna wear this scent. This is Warm and Radiant. This is a body mist perfume. And I'm gonna put this on. This is called Anna Eau de Parfum. Smells really good. These are not like your typical expensive perfumes, but this smells so good. I have a lot of dupe perfumes because one thing I've told myself is like, if I can't right now afford a high-end perfume, I'm going to get the dupe. Like, what are we talking about here? I'm definitely going to get the dupe. Like, the dupe. Like, we're in the world of dupes. Who's not duping? This smells so good. Yes, that necklace was not needed. Ooh, I like the perfume choice. It's giving evening. It smells very evening. It's not like too fruity. It's not too light. It's a little heavy, which I do like. I'm thinking about I put this necklace around my neck just for the sake of, you know, accessorizing a little bit more. I think it's really cute though. What do you guys think? Y'all keep messing with my hair. What am I doing? Anyway, I put this necklace around my neck. It's body jewelry, so you can wear it however you like. Honestly, however that suits you. But yeah, this is the body jewelry. I think I'm gonna put a little bit of this Fenty on my like arm, and I'm gonna put a little bit of this maybe on my arm, on my chest, just like the top of my arm probably, because you know, hopefully you guys can see it and I'm not like cut off from you all. Okay, let's just focus here. Just focus. Okay. All right, you guys. This is it for the look. Hopefully you all can still see me. I am done with this look. This is the dress that I'm going to be wearing today. And I don't know if you guys can see what this is. The anklet, my shoes. Let me step back so you can really see. And then this is the purse I'm going to be wearing as well. This is just a super cute, very sexy, giving very much 40 look. I really hope that you all enjoyed this video. Please let me know down in the comments what you all, let me know down in the comments what part of the video you enjoyed the most. Is it the hair, the makeup, or is it the outfit? The outfit section was a little bit hectic, but we moved, we're here, okay, we're here. So this is everything. I think this outfit is so cute for whatever it is that I plan on doing, whether it be dinner, a lounge, whatever. I am dressed and ready to go. I love it. Wish me happy birthday down in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up. Share this video with somebody. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And subscribe to my channel. I will see you all in the next video. I love you all. Bye.